Good evening, Romany Rye back again. I'll touch on a few of my mum's sisters again tonight. Start with Aunt Ali. She married Uncle Norman, and Uncle Norman was from up St. Rosa way. He was a roofer. I think it was something to do with Marley tiles. I think he had quite a big business going one time there, Uncle Norman. And I don't think Aunt Ali was that old when she passed away. I'm not 100% sure. But I think she had Nelsie, Tommy, Norman, Sean, and Simon. I think she had 5 boys. Yeah. But she's a lovely lady. And I just don't seem to have had a lot to do with her. But God bless her, she was one of my mum's sisters. And then there was Aunt Flor, another one of my mum's sisters. I didn't have a lot to do with Aunt Flor, although I went out a couple of times with Aunt Flor and Uncle Tony in their motor car. They had a Mars 1000 car then back in. But the lovely lady, she's still alive, Aunt Flor, at the moment. But very private person. I want to move on to Aunt Amy. And Aunt Amy I remember well, because when I stayed down with Granny's, Aunt Amy was there. And even when we used to just go and visit me Granny. Oh, she's a character, me Aunt Amy. God bless her. These times me Granny shouted at her. Because when she wiped the dishes, she bound to break a plate or a cup or something. And if you was having something to eat, you had to be quick, because if she seen the slightest little bit left on your plate, she'd come to you, she'd say, "You finish," and take it away. My Granny used to shout at her terrible. But with me Aunt Amy, we didn't know at the time, but she worked with my wife out at the Bush factory at Cameron. And she was the life and soul of the party out there. So she used to have all the workers up in stitches. Now Aunt Amy, I got photographs of her when she was a young gal, very smart looking young woman. Very, very smart. And she was a little on the large side, but that was Aunt Amy all over. But I got a picture of her when she was a lot younger, and she was stunning, beautiful smile, lovely lady. And as I said, my wife used to say Aunt Amy was a scream out of the works. So that's Aunt Ali, Aunt Florrie, and now Aunt Amy. But I was speaking to Aunt Lizzy the other day. Tell you about Aunt Lizzy in a minute. And she said Aunt Amy used to look after her. Always made sure she had this and had that. Always buying her stuff. It's a presents and that. That's how Aunt Amy was. But she could smoke for England. And she loved playing bingo. Yeah, she loved that bingo job. But dear soul though. But as I said, I didn't know my Aunt Ali that well. And I sort of lost touch with my Aunt Flor as well. So that's another three of me mother's sisters. Two of they have now passed on. That's Aunt Ali and Amy. Aunt Florrie's still alive. And I think she stays in contact with Aunt Lizzy. Very private person. I move on now to my Aunt Carline, another one of my mum's sisters. Now, Aunt Carline, we used to have a little bit to do with because my father used to go out and see Uncle Bobby Newt. And he was a woodman and a bit of a dealer man. He had a workshop out beside his place where he used to spray a car or two, and he'd always be out doing something. But if you go back for the videos, you'll see there that Uncle Bobby used to drink too much tea for me. But a very clever man. And unfortunately, they had a daughter called Shirley, and he idolised her, to tell you the truth. And she passed away very early. She had 2 children, but that old boy got over she, and God bless her, she lost her life. It's terrible, really. And I think it affected, I know it affected Uncle Bobby, and I know it affected Aunt Carline. They both devastated that Shirley was their life. Shirley, I think, had 2 children, and Aunt Carline sort of devoted her life then to those 2 children, which I suppose any grandmother would do. But Uncle Bobby, he went and lived on, they sold the property up out there, and I don't know exactly how much for or what happened. But Uncle Bobby went to live on his own out of Scurrier in a little old trailer. And I think he took the jukes with him because he loved his dogs. I think in the end Uncle Bobby went blind. But he did stay out of Scurrier in the trailer on his own. And that's where he ended up with his days. But a terrible thing when you lose your child. So that now is, we're talking about my mum's sisters. There was Aunt Florrie, Aunt Ali, Aunt Amy, and now Aunt Carline. So they was all my mum's sisters. I had a bit to do with Aunt Carline. But like I said, not as much as some of them. But they just got to have a mention just the same. Now, my Aunt Lizzy. She was the youngest gal. Very pretty woman. And I'm having a bit more contact with Aunt Lizzy these days, because I shouldn't have let it slip the way I have. I told her that. And when I went to see her the other day, she broke down crying. And I had a tear in my own eyes when I left. But she married a man called Brian Andrews, Uncle Brian. Another lovely man. Very knowledgeable man on a lot of subjects. And I do need to apply myself to the task of getting to know Aunt Lizzy even more. She got a lovely family. I think she got gals and one boy. But I actually, to tell you the truth, it sort of rekindled itself from Aunt Amy's funeral. Because I haven't really had a lot to do with Aunt Lizzy's family. And they made me ever so welcome when we all met. And I thought that was very nice of them. So I will do my level best now to rekindle some sort of contact with all of them. I speak to my Aunt Lizzy very often now. We message each other. And Aunt Lizzy and Uncle Brian very successful in their business ventures and shrewdness of what they've done over the years. And I think now they're comfortable in their life. I have a bit of crack with Uncle Brian about the football. He hasn't been too good of late with his bit of knee, but we're going to stay in contact now. So there's a load of my mum's sisters for the night. And I remember Aunt Lizzy when I used to go down to the state. Of course I can. But I got to do a little bit of more research about my Aunt Lizzy because I don't know where she worked or what she done, see? So none of that's really right. But she understands my situation. She understands that we're now getting back together and talking and interaction. So I want to say tonight that I love all my mum sisters. But you can't talk about something you don't know. And for some of them, didn't have much contact, don't know why. Others, I did. But Aunt Amy was a card. Tell you the truth. She loved the bingo, she loved the smoke. She married a chap called Barry, Uncle Barry. And I think he suffered with his health. They lived out Camborne. And I think she looked after Uncle Barry for a long time. Bless her. So I think that's about it for the night. From the Romany Rye. And tomorrow we'll talk about some more of my mum's sisters. So it's bye-bye from the Romany Rye.